Let's look at our track facts, Brad. They've hosted the races here since 1976, but they only do it one time a year.
One time a year, and you can tell the crowd, the people that are here. Look at the top speeds, though. That's one of the reasons the drivers like this. It's one of the most high-speed tracks on the circuit.
Well, they were racing here yesterday, and let's show you the action. We'll start off in the pro lights. CJ Greaves and Keegan Kincaid. They had a battle in this one, and check this out, Brad.
Yeah, Greaves hit that bump. You can see the back of the truck get out. At that point, he had no control. He got into Kincaid, spun the truck out.
Keegan Kincaid goes on to win this thing. It was his second straight win after he took the checkered flag at Eldora.
One day ago, Keegan Kincaid came to Bark River in a fierce points battle with CJ Greaves. You went to victory yesterday. You got the points lead. Nice job.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a fierce battle out there. You know, I started fourth and ended up working my way up to first right away within the first couple laps. And it was just, the truck was running great. This Traxxas Maxxis AMSO Pro Light, we just put it right to the front right away and never looked back.
Let's go upstairs to Bobby and Brad.
Thank you very much, Tony. Keegan Kincaid from this area, from Iron River up here in what they call the UP, the Upper Peninsula. When we come back, the pro lights are on the racetrack and ready to go. Welcome back to Bark River International Raceway. We are just about ready to get it on with the pro lights. They will be coming out onto the racetrack, and let's tell you a little bit about the pro lights and give you a description about these trucks. Brad, tell me about the pro lights.
Well, these are the smaller of the pro divisions. These are basically the equivalent of a Ford Ranger, Dodge Dakota. They're 400 to 500 horsepower. They have to weigh a minimum of 3,000 pounds. A little smaller tire than the Pro 2 and the Pro 4. But man, these things are fast little race trucks, and a lot of young drivers start in this division.
And we welcome into the booth with us Ricky Johnson. Ricky, of course, I don't know where to start when I introduce you, Ricky, because you're an AMA Hall of Famer. You're actually the guy who founded this Torc series in 2009. Tell us what you're expecting here from the Pro Lights coming up.
Well, in Pro Lights, we got a lot of really fast guys. Keegan Kincaid has seemed to have found his own. He comes from a great racing breed. Jeff Kincaid was one of the winningest Pro Lights, him and Johnny Grieve racers. So he's really found his niche. He was really fast at Eldora, won here yesterday, and it seems to be coming along. Nick Baumgartner, he's a downhill snowboard guy who is now a truck racer. He's racing in the Robbie Gordon SST series. He seems to be coming alive. But the guys that have always been fast out here is CJ Greaves. He's fast in practice, and also Brad Level. So you can't count those guys out. And also West Coast boy that I want to throw a prop to is Doug Matag.
Let's isolate a couple of these drivers. There's a good look at Rafael Navarro. Tony Bachhoven is down trackside. Tell us a little bit more about Mr. Navarro.
Well, guys, the 19-year-old rookie from the state of California, starting from the outside of the front row for the second time this season. He's had 2 7th-place finishes that he's pretty proud of, but he's hoping for more here today. But you know what's interesting, guys? When he's not behind the wheel of that truck, he's studying mechanical engineering at Clemson University. Let's go to Kelly Snyder.
Our 2012 Pro Light champion, Brad Level, hasn't had the best of luck this season. Yesterday during practice, he flipped his truck, damaging the front passenger side chassis and even caught the truck on fire. Brad walked away just fine, and after a lot of hard work from his crew, they were able to fix the truck, and he finished second in last night's feature, making that the first time he's podiumed this season. Brad says that getting the monkey off his back by finally making it to a top 3 spot in a race this year will really help to alleviate the pressure he's had on not only himself, but also the crew. Brad will be starting in the 3rd row for the race today. Bobby?
And we'll look for some good things from Brad Level, and there is CJ Greaves in the 33. And actually, if you go back to last year here at Bark River, he won the Pro 2 class. So CJ's got some experience here, Ricky.
Well, CJ not only has experience, but also has a father, Johnny Greaves, one of the winningest drivers and my main competitor and my rival out there. But CJ is running double duty, running Pro 2 and Pro Light. So he's more comfortable with the speed, and he's also gets comfortable with the narrowness of a Pro Light. So look for him.
On this starting grid, it's going to be Nick Baumgartner starting from the pole. Rafael Navarro will be outside of row number 1. Matag, Kincaid, Lovell, and Greaves, the 6 names up front that you should probably know a lot about. And let's tell you a little bit about the race analysis now. All these races today, Brad.
They're 10 laps, but there will be a competition caution at the halfway mark. Again, the drivers in the back, they like that competition caution. It gives them a chance to get up front. Maybe the guys out front leading it don't necessarily like it. Caution laps do not count. They're double file on the start. There'll be single file on the caution comes out.
And it looks like we are ready to go. In between that cone and the Red Bull sign, you can pick up the throttle, have to stay in line though, but now we are racing, and it is Baumgartner who gets the first call. He leads in that number 12 truck, the black one. Right behind him is Navarro.
And you see Doug Matag making a run on the outside, gets past Keegan Kincaid. So we got Baumgartner, Navarro, and Matag 1, 2, and 3.
How long do you think it's going to be before Kincaid and Greaves are up there challenging?
Well, you know, you got to watch. These guys are patient, too. They know they have the competition yellow, but there's valuable points for leading at the halfway point. So you definitely want to get yourself up there as quick as you can. And here at Bark River, you can see the roost is unbelievable. Fills the helmet, fills the car, fills the radiators, fills everything. Baumgartner making a little excursion there, but back on the track.
Call it off-road racing. He was way off-road there.
Yeah, but you know what they say, off the track, off the gas, and he did a good job. He just sort of kept it nice and smooth, didn't tear up the infield. Now here goes Navarro to the inside.
Rafael Navarro takes the lead, and now here comes Matag in that number 81. Matag's a big boy. He's like 6'2", driving one of these trucks.
Yeah, but he weighs about $110. He's a skinny kid at this point. His dad is quite the husky guy himself, so I don't know if he's going to stay skinny forever. But now we got Navarro, Baumgartner, and here comes Matag looking up the inside. Oh, nice little bump pass, and here comes what I tell you, C.J. Greaves.
C.J. Greaves is in the monster black number 33, Brad. Taking a look on the outside.
Making all kinds of passes here. He's on the outside, the inside. Doesn't want to follow. You talk about the roost. How often, Ricky, do you try to get away from that, or do you sometimes you have no choice but to follow in the roost?
Sometimes you have no choice. Here goes Doug Matag pulling off to the outside, so something might have happened with a little bit of contact. Now C.J. Greaves in a clear second place. Back to what you were saying, Brad, in this roost, you try to stay out of it because it completely blinds you. I don't care if you pull tear-offs or whatever. It's like getting a snowblower of mud right in your face. But right now, they've done a great job. The rain has dried out, and actually, this is the best condition to race in this because the dirt is heavy and wet, and it stays down.
Tony Bachhoven, some more on the roost.
Guys, as the trucks came by, and I'm standing by the end of the hot pit, some of the rocks flying out of the roost the size of a baseball. So not only are these guys getting pummeled with mud, their trucks are getting pounded with these rocks.
How much of a beating do you take, Ricky?
Definitely. There's been drivers that have had their collarbones broken. There's guys that have been knocked out completely. You know, here in the Torc series, we have a rule where we have to run a screen. But when you take a bowling ball and throw it through a screen, it breaks it sometimes. And we make them out of metal and everything like that. But sometimes they get through and they blast you pretty hard. My teammate Bryce got hit in the head yesterday, and so did my son Luke.
I've had some experience with that myself. Had a rock go through my shield, broke my nose, my eye socket, and ever since then I ran a rock screen. It became mandatory for a while in the sprint car racing that I've done, but here without it you'd be in big trouble, wouldn't you?
The old Steve Kinzer rule, right? Steve Kinzer didn't run a rock screen, so nobody else wanted to.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Now we see Keegan Kincaid, try to say that fast, is working his way back up. He's up on Baumgartner's tail, and now we also see Brad Lovell has also gotten by Baumgartner. So Brad Lovell and Keegan Kincaid are on the move.
And you talked about Keegan Kincaid. His confidence level has to be skyrocketed right after Eldora winning here yesterday.
Well, you know what it's like, Brad. When you win a race, I don't care if everybody breaks. If you win, you feel like a winner. You know that you can win, and you attack the track different. And since I saw Keegan Kincaid win at Eldora, he's a different driver.
Not only you prove yourself, but your crew chief, your team, everybody around you, that you can get the job done.
And C.J. Navarro, I don't mean to cut you off, Bobby, but he is running phenomenal. I've not seen this driver run this strong. He runs a lot of the sports cars, but now he has C.J. Greaves looking on the outside and clears him.
C.J. Greaves into the lead. He powers by Rafael Navarro, and so now it is Greaves in front. And this is kind of the point where if you're the rest of the field, you're like, nah, because Greaves is out in front, and it has to be a little bit of a helpless feeling. You wonder if anyone's going to be able to surpass him.
Well, anything can happen here. We're running 10 laps, and we're running really, really hard. Looking at the replay again of the lead change, you see C.J. comes up over the end and shoots down the inside. Navarro sweeps a little bit to the outside. C.J.'s got a straight run at the jumps, clears the jumps. You see Navarro just misses it, and that's all it takes, and C.J.'s by and into the lead.
We are 2 laps complete, working on lap number 3 right now. We're in the Pro Light category, sponsored by Traxxas. It is CJ Greaves out in front over Rafael Navarro. Brad Lovell, defending champion of the series, runs in third, followed by Baumgartner, and then last night's winner, Keegan Kincaid. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more of the Pro Lights right after this. Welcome back to the Off-Road Championship. The Traxxas Pro Lights are out on the race course right now. CJ Greaves has taken the lead away from Rafael Navarro. Then it's Brad Lovell, but a great battle going on right now. It's a battle for fourth between Keegan Kincaid and Nick Baumgartner, as you see a battle for second now developing.
Yeah, Rafael is doing a great job. He's learning from CJ, he's watching his lines, but CJ is slowly walking away. This is a game of inches. 1 inch, if you're off, is like 3 feet on the exit. So right now, your defending champion, Lovell, is working on Navarro.
What do you think's been the deal with Lovell's slow start here this season?
I think it's the sophomore jinx. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of times, you know, he came in here as a rock crawler, but a great racer, a great guy, awesome family. And then, oh, here we go, looking to the inside, and he's not afraid to bang either. So coming to the inside, that's Relvin is racing here. That's legal, no foul, nothing. Awesome pass by Brad Lovell, now into second place. But back to Brad. You know, just sometimes you come in and I don't know what it is, but I don't know if you expect it or whatever, and then all of a sudden bad things start to happen, and now he's starting to turn it back around.
There's a look at Rafael Navarro in that number 9 machine. Boss Snowplows, who is providing sponsorship here this weekend.
Coming up on the back of Rafael is now Keegan Kincaid, yesterday's winner. So now we're going to have a 3-way race for second place. We are going to the competition yellow. So we got CJ Greaves, Brad Lovell, Rafael Navarro, and Keegan Kincaid, and then Nick Baumgartner.
And 2 points going to the leader, 1 point for the driver who's in second at the competition yellow. Tomorrow on race day, we'll revisit Jimmy Johnson's dominating win at Pocono. Plus, Biffle and Newman join us live, and we'll look back at some father-son legacies. Be sure to watch NASCAR Race Day from Michigan live tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern, only on Speed. Nick Baumgartner is more than just a truck driver. He's an Olympic snowboarder. He is from nearby Iron Mountain, Michigan here in the UP. But in the trucks, he's a driver that is definitely improving quickly.
Well, guys, Nick Baumgartner is having a great start to the season. Currently third in the Pro Light division, just 19 points back from first place positioning in the points. Tell us about your great start to the season at Dodge City.
Oh, Dodge City was a blast. First off, they took me out and they let me be the ambassador, kind of show the fans a little bit of the historic parts of Dodge City. It's a real cool town and it's got a lot of history. And then to come out and start off, I took it easy. I didn't get too aggressive. I got 2.6, which I was happy with. I didn't do anything spectacular, but I didn't do anything stupid, which is a good thing for me. I like that.
And then you guys went to Eldora, another great run.
Yeah, Eldora was awesome. I got my first podium, taking second there. It was a blast. I'm getting the confidence. All the seat time I'm getting in all the series I'm running is really giving me a better chance to. I'm getting at least twice the seat time, so I'm getting faster twice as fast. So it's really good. I'm having a blast. The truck does what I want now, which I like, because these guys have been beating on me for the last year, so it's time for me to start beating on them.
Seat time, that's the deal, huh, Ricky? How much has that kid improved?
Oh, unbelievable. And he's not a kid, you know. I mean, he's won a gold medal in the X Games. He's on the Olympic team. He's part of the the Wheaties team. He's a stud. And when you got somebody that understands gravity, and that's what snowboarding is, he knows momentum, he knows this. But now he's just learning the mechanics of a truck, and he's doing an awesome job.
He is 31 years old. Let's go down to Tony.
Guys, Doug Matag was just in the work area. They were tearing apart the top of the fuel tank. They were having fuel delivery issues. The crew told me, and maybe Ricky can elaborate on this, they were switching the lines over to the secondary side. So trying to get that truck to run, it was getting starved for fuel before. They think they have it fixed now.
Unfortunately, though, Tone, he is already 2 laps down.
Yeah, he's 2 laps down. So what Doug has to do is just go out and utilize the seat time as experience. This is nothing more than a practice or a test session. Try some lines and just work it out, and hopefully somebody breaks.
And we're back on at Brad Doty as you take a look here. Keegan Kincaid running in the 4th position right now. You have a feeling that he's going to be making his move.
Well, again, that's what this competition caution closed everybody up behind him, but Greaves looked like he's pulling out again right now.
Yeah, Greaves took off, and Keegan's Navarro doing a little bicycle, and that allows Keegan to get to the inside, but Navarro scoops it back up, and that's given CJ Greaves the chance to break away and run his own line. So the race should come out to defending champion Brad Lovell and CJ Greaves.
That'd be a good way to have this one wind down.
It looked like when Navarro biked there, Kincaid just wasn't in a position to get under him and make the pass.
Yeah, well, he was going for one line, and then another line happened. And when a guy goes up on a bicycle, it pauses him up there. So if you got to move and you're making a run on him, a lot of times you have to hesitate, and that's what got Keegan.
C.J. Greaves is in the lead right now. As we told you off the top, he was a Pro 2 winner here last year at Bark River. Had some trouble in the Pro Lights competition yesterday, but right now he is showing the way.
Yeah, CJ's got clean air. Brad, you're watching him. Comparing what he's doing with these trucks now that lift to the inside wheel, how do you compare it to sprint cars?
Well, there's some similarities, like running the cushion, leaning up there in the fluff, as you guys call it, sticking the tires, getting some traction up there, and sometimes, you know, getting the tire up on the inside berm, it loads the right rear. If you're going to the left-hand turn, it loads the right rear, sticks that right rear. So there are some similarities there.
The funny thing you say that, because I've always said we have jumpable sprint cars. We have a similar motor, but we have a whole bunch of tire and a whole bunch of suspension. So right now, this race, Keegan Kincaid has moved himself into third position, but Navarro has not given up. Really impressed with Raphael's drive today.
How much do you guys hide your trucks down in the pit area? Are people welcome to come in your pit? You try to keep everybody out? I mean, my question is Greaves. If, you know, they've been fast this weekend. How many people are down there trying to look at their trucks?
It's really hard to tell, because we have the same shock manufacturers and tire manufacturers, but you know, everybody, you know, you don't get under there with a tape measure, but you can see everything they got. These guys are just driving well.
C.J. Greaves is out in front right now. We are working on lap number 7 of 10 here in the Traxxas Pro Lights. It's Greaves over Lovell, but this race is not over. Stay tuned. Back there is C.J. Greaves in truck number 33. He is out in front right now. Brad Lovell trying to track him down, working on lap number 8 of 10 in the Traxxas Pro Lights. Just a couple of moments ago, though, we had one upside down.
Yeah, one upside down, and then it is quite sometimes a little bit of a fiasco to pull it over. So they're trying to hold the bumper and rip it over, and then they rip the bumper off, but it does get number 99 back on 4 wheels and ready to go. So the WTF truck was the TTM truck just a minute ago.
Jeff Sleegers in number 99, the pilot of that machine. How much did that bumper cost?
That's not the biggest thing. Just your pride when you're on your roof. Brad, you know how that feels.
Yeah, I was going to say there might have been more damage to turning it back over than it did turn it over to start with.
Exactly. But now back to the lead. We're watching C.J. Greaves, who's doing an awesome job. He's keeping about a 6 to 8 car length lead over Brad Lovell, but Brad Lovell is staying right there. So the 3 of these guys, Brad Lovell, Keegan Kincaid, and C.J. Greaves, they're running about the same lap time. So right now, if you're in that mix, you're wondering, how hard do I run the truck, because I don't want to break it.
They just completed lap number 8. The differential that time, 1.5 seconds for Greaves over Lovell. The previous lap, I believe, is 1.3. So just stretching it out a teeny bit is C.J. Greaves. But as Ricky pointed out, that could be made up with just one bad turn.
Yeah, here at Bark River, you watching Brad working the steering wheel, working the throttle, doing everything he can, and he's trying to keep it on a very tight rope, because right here through this S-turn, as they're coming down there, you miss your entry by 1 foot, you're like 6 foot off. And you see, you don't want to be that loose going through there, so you scrub speed. And so you want to make sure you keep that thing moving forward as much as possible. Good
Tight look right there at the number 1 plate of Brad Lovell, the 36-year-old driver from Colorado Springs, Colorado.
So, Brad, we see Keegan Kincaid. And here goes Brad Lovell. Gets a little bit loose like we talked about. And Keegan making a move.
Yes, he is. And the off-camber, I was going to ask you about the off-camber corners. Talked about loading the, you know, the truck in that corner when you get in. Do you try to get up on the berm more on an off-camber corner, or?
Nice move.
Nice move. Keegan Kincaid to the inside, did it outside in, but now Lovell's got the cushion like we were talking about and gets the run back on him. So Keegan keeps trying to shoot down to the inside, but then he's hitting the hard slick stuff. So back to what you were saying, Brad, about using the cushion. You know, do you go the short way around on the slick area, or do you use the cushion and move around? Because you don't, like in Eldora, we had such a high bank on the outside. The outside's the way to go, because the cushion helps you and the bank carries you around. And right now we see C.J. Greaves with a pretty good lead, but an unbelievable race for second place.
Man, it is a great battle. C.J. Greaves has now opened up a 3-second advantage, but the battle is for second between Lovell and Kincaid. The last lap, Ricky, are the gloves off, or are the gloves always off?
Gloves are off. Here's the thing. I always say that, you know, that you don't block, you don't do anything in the first 3 laps, last 3 laps, you do whatever you can to win. And right now, these guys are thinking about a championship. You got a guy who's won yesterday and the defending champion. If they get a shot at each other,
they'll take it.
So Kincaid gets by Lovell. Kincaid now running in second there in the Traxxas number 7. Lovell, the AMSOIL number 1, is in the third. Whoa, he's
Oh, small mistake, and that cost Brad right there. Charging over that. These things are limited suspension, the limited tire. It just bucked on him, and that gave Keegan Kincaid the lead that he needed so he can run these last three turns nice and smooth.
So a lot of torque and power, but not a lot of tire in this division, right?
No, not a lot of tire. It's a DOT tire, and you can groove it however you want. But once again, we're watching C.J. Greaves out in front, 2 turns to go. Awesome job for him. But Keegan Kincaid came from way back, and now he looks like he's going to pull off second. So limited tire, limited suspension, but these things have a lot of torque, and they are one hell of a race truck.
And the checkered flag will fly for C.J. Greaves in the Monster Energy number 33. He picks up the win here in the Traxxas Pro Lights. Keegan Kincaid will bring it home in second position, followed by Brad Lovell, and then Rafael Navarro brings it home in fourth. Nick Baumgartner finishes in the 5th position. A bunch of racing yet to come. We'll come back and we will talk to first, second, and third. Stay with us. You're watching the Traxxas Pro Lights on Speed. National Raceway, race 1 of 3 in the books. The Traxxas Pro Lights have been run, and C.J. Greaves comes up with the winner. Let's go down to Kelly Snyder, who is in the winner's circle with the young man.
Well, guys, C.J. Greaves, you talked about him winning in the Pro 2 here last year, pulling off a win here in the Pro Lights today. I heard this motor is 30 minutes old. This is a brand new motor you guys put in after last night.
Yeah, you know, we had a fast truck yesterday too, and we just had some misfortunes, and we went out and practiced and came back, and the engine was hurt, so we had about an hour and a half to change it. They started it up, drove it up here. Here we are up in the box. I mean, up on top of the box, besides the point. I can't give it up for my crew. They changed 2 engines in a matter of like 8 hours, and Monster, Toyota, Maxxis, MagnaFlow, all my family, all our crowd, fans, everyone, thank you.
A lot of traffic you had to pass through to get to the lead. Talk us through that pass you made.
Yeah, you know, we qualified first, and with the inversion I ended up sixth, and I just picked them off one by one and started watching people, and Navarro went a little wide, and we just jumped to the inside.
Well, guys, C.J. Greaves started 6th, ended 1st. Congratulations on his first place win here in the Pro Lights.
We take a look at the results in Pro Light. It is C.J. Greaves who gets the win. Just 18 years old, celebrated his birthday about a dozen days ago. Keegan Kincaid ends up 2nd. You see Brad Lovell 3rd. And a good run for Rafael Navarro right there. I think that maybe that surprised you a little bit, huh, Ricky?
Yeah, Rafael looks like he's really starting to come together. Scott Beauchamp in 11th, Travis Dinsmore in 12th, and also a couple guys having some trouble upside down, the WTF truck upside down, but gotta say, awesome race.
And Doug Matag bringing up the rear of the field after his problems. 2nd place, Keegan Kincaid. He is downstairs with Tony Bachhoven.
Well, Keegan Kincaid came from 4th. What a battle. You had some tear-off issues and everything. Tell us about that run. Great 2nd place finish.
Yeah, off the start, I got mudded up and my tear-offs bunched together, and I couldn't quite get a tear-off until the first lap down at the end of the back section, and I was just wiping, trying to see, and I couldn't see, and I finally got them unbunched, and got a tear-off off, and I knew I was back pretty far, and I knew I had to march my way forward from there.
Big smile on your face today. A great run between you and CJ.
Yeah, that was a good run. You know, Brad's up here too. This Traxxas truck, you know, performed flawlessly, and these Maxxis tires put me right to the front too. So I'm glad to be on the box.
The points battle continues, Kelly.
It does. Brad Lovell, we talked about you had a 2nd place after last night's run, pulling off a 3rd. The monkey's finally off your back, and you're finally making these podium finishes. But what a great battle between you and Keegan Kincaid going on out there.
Yeah, Keegan was pushing me hard out there. He drove me really clean, which I really appreciate. I came over the sweeping turn here and got up on 2 wheels, and I wasn't bailing. I was just kind of driving there, but I had to let go, and he got by me on these jumps down here in the last lap. So I really got to thank AMSOIL, BF Goodrich Tires, Torchmate CNC Cutting Systems for getting us out here, putting this awesome team together. I was upside down yesterday. Truck was torn up. We got it all put back together. Love this track. This is what short course is all about.
Well, guys, Brad also talked about how he may have bumped Rafael Navarro out there, but a great run for all 4 of those drivers, and congratulations to Brad with the 3rd.
As they said, rubbing is race. As we take a look at C.J. Greaves taking the checkered flag and getting the win. The Monster Energy truck looking good right